Two pickup trucks were stolen from a car dealership in Carson City, Nevada. The two vehicles were reported stolen from a car dealership in Nevada. Early Monday afternoon, December 30th, 2024, California Highway Patrol officers spotted the two GMC pickup trucks in the San Fernando Valley. A chase ensued. The suspects were weaving through traffic at speeds sometimes exceeding 100 miles per hour.
That weight distribution a little bit better for the common driver. Look at that, kind of caught in that groove right there. As we're continuing on, I think we just made that transition, or maybe not. Looks like we're right up. Sorry, I'm pushing buttons. Out of Carson, Nevada. Hope they stopped and got fuel somewhere. Woo! Changing lanes. Changing your mind. Yeah, it was. CBS has got it on the air. What about us? Woo! Little bit of bump. Whoa! Did he hit him? No, he didn't. Looks like we're getting off the freeway. Maybe, yeah, we're using the emergency lane. Yep. No, we're not. But he definitely blocked that CHP officer. Thank you. I was listening to the scanner, Chris. I wasn't trying to be flippant. I just... But I could have been wrong. Could have been something else, you know? Oh, Sherry. Sherry. No. You know. Hey, we're on the web. Hey, so if you guys were listening to me singing Sherry and... what was that, Journey? Anyways, let's talk about what we're actually looking at right there. That's a big old GMC stolen out of Carson, Nevada, made its way down the 5 freeway. Him and a buddy, there was two vehicles. The other one, actually, there was an accident that happened on the southbound 5 at the 170 involving both of these vehicles. And then that other vehicle kind of took the 170 south, while this one took the 5, and now we're on the 2 north. But, got to say, the other one came to an end. Sherman Way and Saticoy, that guy in custody. If this driver's listening, your buddy's already been taken into custody. This one continues to be going along here. Look at these numbers. We're hitting triple digits. Copy all. 5. Looks like we're going to be picking up the 210 freeway. We're going to be heading into Pasadena. Pursuit going on out here, and we just made our way up into the Eagle Rock area. You can take a look at that. That big old pickup truck actually stolen out of Carson, Nevada. Now, those speeds and that swerving that we're seeing right there, not what we would definitely want to see. California Highway Patrol, they're involved in this chase. Now, I know Roxy is down there, and I got to get you guys all caught up. This one's still going, but there was another vehicle, apparently with some sort of tandem theft that was going on out in the Carson, Nevada area. They were coming down the 5 freeway. That's where California Highway Patrol picked it up, and there was an accident. Officer involved crash. But take a look at that rear tire. I am thinking to myself that rear tire right there might be running a little low. This thing might be coming to an end, and of course at these high speeds and that low tire, especially in the rear, that driver might not be knowing what's going on right now, and very concerned about that as well. Take a look at that though, passing around those cars. Now back to the other crash that happened in the North Hollywood area. That was on the southbound 5 right at the 170. It was an officer involved crash. Hopefully everybody's okay. We were continuing on listening to that other vehicle, took the 170, got off at North Hollywood, kind of came to an end near Sherman Way and Saticoy. That driver in custody. This vehicle continued on the 5 freeway, picked up the 2, we took the 2 north, and now we're on the 210 heading down towards Pasadena. That vehicle moving along. That's a big GMC vehicle, Chevy pickup truck. Now, I'm not saying I know exactly the motor in there, but just by the way this thing is moving along, that's probably going to be that big 6-liter that's pushing that truck, and it's keeping up those high speeds. California Highway Patrol right behind it. I'm concerned about that rear tire back there, and I'm also concerned about anybody else that may be on the roads near it. But this pursuit continuing, making our way out towards the Pasadena area. And again, oh, wait a minute, we're still on the 134. So anyways, keeping an eye on it. Oh, guys and gals, I got this thing totally turned around. I thought we made our way onto the 210. We're actually on the 134, making our way back into the Glendale area, basically going back to where this thing started. Anyhow, we're going to keep an eye on it. Roxia, what you got to know? Oh. Yes. Oof. You know what, the entire time we've had eyes on this vehicle, it has been driving this type of erratic. Made a big loop right there. Now we're back on the southbound 5. We went through the Glendale area, came back to that 5, and now we're back on that southbound 5. Not sure if maybe he took the, whoa! Oh my goodness. And you know, it is a big pickup truck. It is a newer pickup truck, so you know these vehicles have that automatic stability in there. But you know what, when you push it to those type of limits, you know, everything has a limit. And of course, that driver might make a wrong decision or a poor decision, and even that truck, being as new and as solid as it is, might still cause a crash. You can see that vehicle still moving along, using every lane right there. Comes close to so many other vehicles, and that's concerning to me as well. I wonder if that driver's thinking, well, maybe if I bump into somebody or cause some sort of accident, you know, then they'll stop chasing me, and that is very, very concerning. Again, though, those numbers, they're not lying. We've seen that vehicle hit those triple digits. I would venture to say there's probably a limiter on there, a newer vehicle, probably going to top out right about 120. But now we're seeing a little bit, I mean, we're still almost at 100 miles an hour, but you can see right there, like you mentioned, lighter traffic out here. That's a plus-ish, but it also gives that vehicle a lot of room to do all these maneuvers, we're going to call it that right now, and those high speeds, definitely frightening for me. I can't imagine what that officer in that vehicle right behind him is dealing with right now. Definitely, and these higher speeds, that is the most concerning part of all this. Now, there already was one officer in a crash at the 170 and the 5 freeway, and again, hopefully that person is okay, that officer's okay, and whoever that collided with is okay. But look at that. Look, we got traffic going on down there, and this vehicle continuing on in that emergency lane at these high speeds, zipping by all these other cars, and he's straddling the line, so he's getting very, very close to all those other vehicles down there. That must be very, very concerning to all those cars. Hopefully there is no contact. We haven't seen anything, but it definitely looks like that vehicle is trying to intimidate other vehicles or maybe push over to one of those other cars. And of course, California Highway Patrol, I'm wondering if they're staying behind them because of all of that. They might be just kind of right now just going to let it go for a little bit, let the helicopter follow it. But you can see that truck still making these high-speed maneuvers. Southbound 5 freeway, we're in the Glendale area right now, but we're in the Los Feliz area, but you can tell right now that that vehicle is still moving on at a very, very fast speed and weaving in and out of between these cars. That is the concerning part. This part right here, that's probably as slow as we've seen it go the entire time. Whoa. Oof. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. It could be. It definitely could be that truck responding to whatever that driver's doing there behind the wheel, and it is swerving around. It is a pickup truck as well. The newer trucks, they try to make that weight distribution a little bit better for the common driver. Look at that, kind of caught in that groove right there. As we're continuing on, I think we just made that transition, or maybe not. Looks like we're right up on the gore point. Looks like we're making that transition over to the 110 freeway. This is going to be very tight, and this is going to be a very sharp turn up there. I'm not sure if that driver aware of the area. I did see those brake lights coming on, but this is a spot again where it gets so tight, and if there's any traffic, there could be a problem. Look at that person. Probably saw that in the rearview mirror. Up there's the California Highway Patrol. Maybe they heard those lights and sirens, but definitely was trying to get out of the way of that big truck barreling down on him. Now we're making that turn. There's a California Highway Patrol helicopter. Makes a really pretty picture. But this vehicle, at least I'm seeing a little bit slower speeds. And, of course, everybody else is probably just like, what is going on? Now we're starting to make that transition over to the 110 South. Downtown Los Angeles, I have a feeling that there's going to be a little bit of traffic coming up. And, Roxy, we both are on that same page. You kind of wonder, maybe a little bit more traffic might slow these speeds down a little bit or create a problem where this truck just gets boxed in, which would be okay as long as that driver doesn't try to do bodily harm or try to push his way out of that situation. But it looks like, again, might be wrong, because it looks like he's got plenty of room to make any of these moves that he's been making for this entire pursuit. That is the biggest concern whenever we watch these pursuits. I really, truly mean that. I'm always worried about all those folks that this person is just zipping and whizzing by and getting so close to. That could be one of your loved ones out there just making their drive home or going to work or doing their errands, and then you've got this guy just ripping through there. And, again, California Highway Patrol, they're doing what they can. Lights and sirens, warning the public, telling people, hey, basically you need to kind of move over. Look at this. Look at this. Yeah, it's the first time I've seen somebody on that far right driving slow, and I'm appreciating it. Well, that truck did definitely slow down a little bit, making our way over to that transition where it does get backed up, and there's a little bit of usually a little bit of confusion. Take a look. I know that it's going to start getting to that stop-and-go traffic. We make our way through the downtown, through the gore point, making his way over to that off. So now he has that choice. He can get off and basically try to maybe drive through the city area, or there's an opportunity to get back onto the 110. I have a feeling this driver does know where they're going or does know this area. Making that turn probably is going to keep them up. I think that was the last chance for the 110, so we're definitely going to be getting off either at Wilshire or 6th Street, and it is definitely going to be 6th Street as we're making that turn. That's going to put us into the city. Ooh, it's going to be tough for us to keep an eye on it. I got to work with Jeff as we try to keep an eye on where this truck is going. Well, I'm just trying to figure out right now I'm concerned about trying to find that vehicle in the downtown area. I'm sure Jeff is going to shout it out when he starts seeing where this thing is. He's still on 6th Street. But realistically right now, the only thing we know is this stolen vehicle came out of the Carson area. California Highway Patrol right behind it, and they were making their way through the freeways. Southbound was the one that they were doing the most, but eventually there was a crash, and that was the most concerning part about all of this, was when that vehicle was involved in a collision. A CHP vehicle was involved in a collision at 170 in the 5 freeway. There were 2 of these cars, and now I don't know if they were both pickup trucks, but one of them actually made it onto the 170, went south, got off Sherman Way, and then basically dumped that vehicle somewhere over by Sherman Way and Saticoy. That person in custody. Now this one still continuing on. The last location I heard was still on 6th Street, but there's a lot of traffic out here trying to work the scanners and try to find this vehicle at the same time. But that big pickup truck now in the downtown Los Angeles area, somewhere between these buildings. Yes. Now, I don't know if they were both pickup trucks. I did hear them describe one as a black pickup truck, and this one is clearly gray. But I don't know the make and model of this second one that was involved in the chase. I understand that it might be a little bit more south of us. If somebody down there has better information, meaning our assignment desk, you can shout it out any time, and we'll just see if we can pick this thing back up. South Grand at the 10.
As the suspects weaved through traffic at speeds sometimes exceeding 100 miles per hour, one of the suspects exited the freeway in the North Hollywood area and stopped near Saticoy and Lankershim streets.
He's definitely on the southbound 110 somewhere. We're trying to pick him back up right now. I'm kind of glad that they took a freeway. But right now I saw a couple of CHP units moving along pretty quickly, but I think these guys are actually behind the curve as well, much like me this afternoon. So we're going to keep an eye and see if we can pick it back up, but definitely moving southbound on the 110 freeway. We're probably going to do that transition as well, but right now just still looking for that actual chase on the southbound 110.
As the suspects weaved through traffic at speeds sometimes exceeding 100 miles per hour, one of the suspects exited the freeway in the North Hollywood area and stopped near Saticoy and Lankershim streets, where the driver was eventually arrested.
You know, now he's continuing on. You know, the drive is a little bit slower. That rear wheel definitely coming apart, and I have a feeling that it is slowing this guy down. We did notice that earlier on when he was basically swerving around on the freeway. That tire now coming apart. You know, I always say this, and when we see these chases, hopefully that vehicle will give up before the driver does. But sometimes, like with this guy driving, I don't think that losing that tire is going to create too much of a deterrent for that driver. He's just going to keep pushing that truck, and now it's going to be handicapped as well. That's going to create more problems. It's going to slow him. It's going to create the braking issues and also swerving issues. We definitely see those speeds slowing down as well. I'm going to bring back up the map for you guys so you can keep an eye on it and see where we are. That tire just about coming off. But I also kind of wonder sometimes, That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He's going to start losing the ability to drive out of the vehicle and running. As you know, there we go, run, and there's California Highway Patrol right behind him. Let's see who's been a little bit better off, and of course that's going to be the officer from California Highway Patrol coming to an end right there, using that less than lethal, at least threatening that suspect down on the ground there, hands out, and again coming to what I would venture to say as a peaceful end. Hopefully that officer that was involved in the crash out in the North Hollywood area is going to be okay, but right now that suspect in custody, and again that pickup truck losing that rear tire. Not sure how that all happened, and of course it's under a tree, but I'm not sure how all that happened, but again that rear tire coming apart is what brought this to an end. That driver probably would have kept going as long as